with Rootsology, which is the in-week thriller from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Miss Harry said it never got to all weekend. We have food for thought, your health is a wealth, then love bus, that is a must. And not idiot thing that. Then we close it off at the end of the week with Fire Friday, which are the talk of the street. Rootsology, me say ya Rootsology. Rootsology, me say ya Rootsology. Isis, Miller. Isis, Miller.
It's time to rise and shine with Reverend Dr. Phyllis Green. Listen every Monday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on Roots 96.1 FM. This program is about rising up and knowing who you are and looking towards a new life. There will be meditation and prayer, along with music and inspirational messages. That's Rise and Shine with Reverend Dr. Phyllis Green. Mondays, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. right here on Roots 96.1 FM, the voice of the inner city.
Rise and shine, oh, clear your mind, rise and shine. Oh.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Green, the presenter of Rise and Shine. Rise and Shine is a program offered every Monday morning at 7 a.m. on Roots FM 96.1 and also live on all the social media platforms. Our program seeks to assist persons who are going through all sorts of issues and challenges and to encourage you by letting you know that you can overcome. All of our guests are persons who have overcome all sorts of issues, whether being crippled, whether growing up in poverty and deciding I want a better life, whether health issues, including cancer. So we can overcome when we decide that we want to overcome. I invite you, join us, hear the stories, and be inspired to do it for yourself, because you can. Let's go. Rise and shine.
Rise and shine, clear your mind, oh. Rise and shine, rise and shine. We gotta work it out, straighten out the doubt. That's what it's all about. Time is never waiting. Yesterday's already gone. Before you know it, tomorrow will be no more. Are you listening? Tell me, are you keeping the score? If you say the news, everyone's running.
Good morning. Yes, we are here once more, and yes, we are rising and we are shining. It's Monday morning, 7 o'clock. We are ready for a new program. Thanks for joining us. Our telephone numbers are area code 876-325-2101, area code 876-399-4412, or area code 876-707-4712, 707-4737, 372-8446, and 225-9478, all in area code 876. Yes. So welcome. And we're happy as always to start with a devotional period. Reverend Lisa.
Good morning, Reverend Phyllis. How
are you, my
you?
dear? Thank you so much. So over to you, please.
Good morning, everyone. This morning, our devotion is going to focus on faith in God. And I start with our scripture reading. Hebrew 11 verse 6 says, without faith, it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to God must believe that He exists, and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. And 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7 says, for we live by faith, not by sight. So this morning, there's an author, Martha Mock, who was the director of an international prayer ministry, Silent Unity. She wrote a book, Meet It With Faith, and I'm using excerpts from this to emphasize our point this morning. Meet it or have faith in God. Have faith in God. So Reverend Stock asked, is this a time of faith for you? Then this is the time for faith. Has something occurred to cause you grief or unhappiness? Meet it with faith. With the faith that God is with you, the faith that God is present in every person, in every situation, the faith that God can be trusted to bless, to renew, to heal, to make all right. No, all things, not some things. She continues, meet with faith. This is the way to overcome unhappiness. As you hold to the truth that nothing can separate from God's love, nothing can cast you down, nothing is greater than God's power in you, with you, all about you, your cares slip away. And joy, the joy of the Lord rises up in you. Do you find yourself wondering how your bills are going to be paid? Where the money is coming from? And friends, I know especially this time of a pandemic that has led to closure of businesses, unemployment, underemployment, financial losses. People are asking this question. How are your bills going to be met? Your mortgage, your car payment, your rent, your school fees, your utilities, your food? The answer? Meet all such thoughts with faith. Challenge your down fears. Ask yourself, who is your source? Who is the supplier of every needed good? Where is God? Have faith in God in you, beloved. God in us is the fountainhead, the source of all our supply. Have faith in God to provide for our every need, to provide abundantly, to provide on time, provide perfectly, lavishly, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Have faith in God. Children of God, we need to know that there is never ever a time when we are alone or helpless. God's love always surrounds us. His Spirit forever rises up to encourage us, to keep us peaceful and calm, to bring forth victory over every fear that may arise. We must never give in to fear. We must always meet life with faith. Is this a time of illness for you or a family member? Call forth faith. Remind yourself and every other self our bodies are temples of the living God. Every cell of our body is filled with the Spirit of God. Health is our divine birthright. God wants us to well, be healthy. We are His children. So I pause as we listen to this song by Jeff Slaughter. It says, have faith in God. When your path is lonely, He sees and knows all the ways you have tried. You're never alone. Never alone, at least His children. Have faith in God. Let's listen to the words in this song. Jeff Slaughter. Have faith in God.
Have faith in God when your pathway is lonely. He sees and knows all the way you have tried. Never alone are the least of His children. Have faith in God. Have faith in God. Have faith in God. He's on His throne. Have faith in
Let us have faith in God. Let us know that with God, absolutely nothing is impossible. So let's pray. There is only God, only good. We look beyond appearance and see only good, only God. We see this presence in ourselves and in everyone and everything. I have faith in God as the one presence and one power, the one life, the one heat, the one pride, the one source victory for all tests, disappointment, signs of hell, or lack of any kind. Father, healer, healer, to stop and listen as the Spirit of God speaks gently to us. Listen to the voice of God saying, I am here in the midst of you. I am your life. I am your all in all. There is no one beside me, no power but mine. Have faith in me. I am your God, the only one, the ever-present one. We know that the Bible tells us that whatever we ask for in prayer, believing, that is having faith in God, we have already received it. Thank you, God. You are our light and our salvation. It is your will that all your children, every single of us, prosper and be in health. Thanks, God. This morning, one more, we activate our faith in you. Yes, we have faith in God, and we bask in His glory forever. Amen. Thanks, God. Thank you, Reverend Phyllis.
Thank you, Reverend Lisa. Bless you, my sister. Bless you, bless you. Thank you so very much.
Have faith in God when your prayers are unanswered. Your earnest plea, He will never forget. Wait on the Lord, trust His word and be patient. Have faith in God, He'll answer, yeah.
Rise and shine. Rise and shine.
Get the real inner city community news and be informed. You can do all that and more on City Beat, Monday to Friday at 12:45 p.m. on Roots 96.1 FM. City Beat puts you in the know and keeps you rocking in the world of knowledge. So let City Beat catch you on Roots 96.1 FM, Monday to Friday at 12:45 for City Beat. City Beat is the pulse of the city, so don't miss it. Monday to Friday at 12:45 p.m. on Roots 96.1 FM.
Brush up on high school subjects, an academic battle where you challenge your parents, siblings, co-workers, everyone in your space to win bragging rights. Mathematics, geography, history, chemistry, biology, physics, information technology. Every subject, and it's heard right here on Roots 96.1 FM, weekdays 4:15 p.m. Brush up on high school subjects. Bring your brains and participate.
Wait for you like so many others do. Just like they do for me, well, so I do for you. I carry fire for you here in my naked hand. I bear my heart to you, that you will understand. I was a land. That turned me inside out and turned me upside down. I carry fire for you here in my naked hand. I bear my heart to you, that you will understand. Just like I scarred you. Just like I scarred.
Good morning, good morning. Dr. Leachim Semaj, how are you, my dear?
Alive and well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being on our program this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Semaj is known in corporate Jamaica as a motivational speaker, as a creative thinker, as a problem solver, and in the wider Jamaica and indeed the Caribbean, as a consulting psychologist. Frequently called upon to lead strategic planning retreats, to do cultural alignment and organizational restructuring. And he has conducted many staff development programs for many sectors in this country and beyond. In marketing, hospitality, finance, gaming, telecommunications, you name it. He is a product of Fortis. He's a Fortis man. And for those of you who don't yet know what Fortis is, it means he went to Kingston College. Fortis, cadere, cedere, non potest. The brave may fall, but they never yield. And that is how Dr. Semaj's life has been characterized. After Kingston College, he went to New York, went through City College, did his first degree, went on to Rutgers to do his master's and his doctorate. He's been back home lecturing in the University of the West Indies. He's been also at the College of Agriculture. He's done some work at Cornell University. He has received many awards in this country, named as one of the 101 men who have helped to define modern-day Jamaica. And he has been hailed here and abroad for his innovative work. But Dr. Semaj, where did it start? What gave you the drive?
It all begins with my mother's statement to me, as far back I can remember, that she's got money to give me. She has no land to leave to give me. All she can give me is the opportunity to get an education.
So many Jamaican mothers. Yes, tell us more about that. Tell us more.
You see, I went to Central Branch Primary. I was born in Kingston, but then when I was about 9 months, my mother took me back to her place of origin, Desire.
Where's that?
A district up in the hills of Clarendon, about 2 miles straight up in the hills above Frankfield.
Okay.
You know, that's why I love the hills so much.
Okay.
And then I stayed there with my, extended family until about age 4. You know, I came to Kingston now to go to school. And I went to Central Branch Infant School and Central Branch Primary. But as long as I can remember, I was doing extra lessons.
Really?
My mother wanted to make sure, one, I don't come home before her.
Yes.
Because look, at my first 14 years, I lived below Crossroads.
Yes.
I walked to Central Branch, and for the first 4 years at KC, I walked to KC, living in walking distance. And so the notion that, listen, education is all you, and I took that serious. I believed her.
Yes.
So that's what I did. That's all I got. My one chance was education, and I took it seriously.
Yes. And she left that with you, and you have kept that up as your guiding philosophy, should I say?
Absolutely. And I want to just one thing. When I hear introductions about myself, after KC, then I went to New York and went to City College. It sounds so simple and it sounds so, wow, that's wonderful. But no, man, it was different.
Tell us.
After I did very well at KC, having gone there with a government scholarship, and that's part of my commitment to Jamaica because it's poor people money pay taxes.
In that, tell me about that.
And when I got that government scholarship, it's poor people money allowed me the privilege of my lunch, my bus fare, if I needed it, my tuition, my clothes, everything was paid for because back then government scholarship meant something real.
Yes.
But at the end of lower six, it became clear to me now, I would have no option to go to university if I stayed in Jamaica and then gone to upper six because we had no such thing as student loan bureau. By then, my mother had been living in New York, worked in white people's house.
Okay.
You do a thing, and then somebody sponsor you. And I figure that worked so powerful in my life because when I finished O-levels, my mother gave me a trip to New York.
Aye.
But she couldn't take the time off from work, so I had to go to work with her every day.
Wow.
And she worked with a psychiatrist who offices on Central Park West. And the lady allowed me to sit in the library every day.
Really?
So imagine me sitting in a psychiatrist's library every day. And the books I became accustomed to, So after lower six, I told my mother, listen, I'm coming to New York, make life. Meaning that I'm going to get a job so I can pay and go to school.
Yes.
And so that's what that meant. I got to New York on the Saturday. I spoke to my mother, said I want to buy a newspaper on Sunday. She gave me money to buy the newspaper. I saw a job in there for chemical lab technician. I had O-level chemistry and physics and maths and all of these things. So I applied for the job on the Monday. I got an interview on the Wednesday and started working on the Thursday.
Oh dear.
Applied for one job. I didn't supposed to apply for 10. I applied for one.
Yes.
And I saved my money for that month and then applied to City College. And I got in, and in September, I started City College part-time, doing 2 courses a term, working every day from 9 to 5.
Yes.
And going to school from 6 to 10.
Yes. That's
it took me 5 years to finish.
Yes, but
so it sounds simple. Guess what? I was committed.
Exactly.
And the way my mother tells that story is very different from mine. My mother's narrative is that I took 25 cents and made life.
Love it. Explain that again. Just go through that. The 25.
Because she gave me 25 cents to buy a newspaper.
Right.
And in the newspaper, I saw a job.
Yes.
And I applied for the job.
Okay.
And based on that job, I was able to pay my tuition and go to school.
Excellent.
So that's, that's how my life started, and that's how it has continued. Again, sometimes you get one chance, and what you do with it determines the outcome.
Definitely. So you grabbed that opportunity, you went to City College, you did the New York thing, work and study, and you knew you had to succeed, right?
I had no alternative. I mean, while I lived in New York for 11 years, I would tell everybody who came up there, even now I still tell people the same story. If you go to the US, go there with a plan and a timetable.
Yes.
You can get sidetracked. And I know so many people have gone there and got totally sidetracked and got caught up in it and never made it out. But I was committed. Once there, I must get an education and I must come back to Jamaica. So even when I finished the PhD, I started applying for jobs in Jamaica when I finished the master's. I finished the PhD.
Yes.
Nothing, so I did a postdoctorate.
Yes.
And then I got a job at Cornell University. Now, for me, that was special because when I applied to graduate school, I applied to about 10 graduate schools. And one of the places that rejected me was Cornell.
Rejected you? Okay.
Yeah, not accept. But then, when I applied after completing the PhD, when the excitement they had about my candidacy.
Really?
I mean, I still have that letter on my wall today. When the letter of rejection from Cornell. And I have it right next to a letter from Cornell when I won the Distinguished Teacher Award.
Wow.
In 1980. I was voted the best teacher in Cornell. Now,
Excellent.
that's what prompted me to resign and come back to Jamaica. Because I'm the best teacher in Cornell. What am I doing there? And my people need me here. So I left my tenure track position at Cornell to come to a 1-year appointment at the University of the West Indies.
Wow. No, we have to continue this conversation because you see, there's so much in what you just said. Let's take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Rise and shine, oh, clear your mind.
Denise, Isis Miller with Roots Allergy, which is the in-week thriller from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Miss Harry said it never go to all weekend. We have food for thought. Your health is a well. Then love bus. That is a must. I know idiot thing that. Then we close it off at the end of the week with Fire Friday, which are the talk of the street. Roots Allergy, me say your Roots Allergy. Roots Allergy, me say your Roots Allergy. Isis Miller. Isis Miller.
Yes, it's the Math Club Radio Show every Thursday on Roots FM 96.1.
The show will start 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Students, teachers, and parents will be on the show.
Well, no one should miss the show. They will give out prizes every week.
Prizes! We love prizes!
It's the Math Club Radio Show every Thursday on Roots FM 96.1.
Ask people to hide something from black people. If you want to hide something from black people, put it where they know nothing to look. It doesn't have to be up on the highest people. Just put it in a book. How can we free ourselves when the plans are already on the shelves? How can we get what we need when we refuse to read? We've come to change the situation. From your eyes we must move the mist. We will show you how to be.
We're back with Dr. Semaj. Okay, so because you did so well at Cornell as a teacher and got recognized, you then decided it was time to leave Cornell and come home.
Absolutely.
Wow!
No, because you see, I was the first person in the history of Cornell to work in the Department of Human Ecology. And some people would be fascinated by that. So you've been around for over 100 years, and it's just now you realize that I am a black person. So that didn't get to my head because my mission, the Jamaican people made me who I was.
Yes.
It is my responsibility to put something back in the pot so we can help to build the next generation. So I got a 1-year appointment, and they told me that there's a chance they may renew it. And so I dropped everything and came home. My other motive was that, by then I was married with 2 children, and I wanted my children to have the same childhood that I had.
Yes.
I wanted them to grow up in Jamaica and understand just the privilege of being on this rock. That was very important to me. So since 81, I've been back here, doing my part, making my contribution to help to make this the best place to live.
What you have said just rings home so well to me, because I was once in a position where I was interacting with students who had been given government scholarships to do tertiary education abroad. And I can tell you, when graduation time was coming up, we usually wrote to them in the May or April of each year and say, your exams are coming up, we know you're going to do well and you'll be graduating, so let's talk about your plans to return home. A lot of times those letters went unanswered because people are not willing to discuss coming home. But I remember one that struck with me is that this gentleman said, yes, he will come home if we will send him $3,000 so he can pay off his bills. Can
Yeah.
you believe that? Can you believe that?
No, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, and then see the whole notion of being a third-class citizen. That's really what you are.
Thank you.
You know, somebody else's. When you, as opposed to when you can stay where you are and you can build the nation. I am seeing a possible spin-off of the whole COVID situation.
Yes.
The fact that you can literally work from home.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe more Jamaicans who have good jobs in America and other places around the world. Since many companies are now committing themselves. You can work from home.
Yes.
So that you can come home, literally.
Exactly.
And still have your job in America and wherever.
Mm-hmm.
So I do believe that will now happen for those who are really they want to come home, but the salary they earn there and the the issues there. But this is something I think we should push to remind them that listen, home is home, and we can build a nation and shape a society. We still have work to do right here.
Boy, I can identify with that because just briefly, this interview is not about me, but I just want to just tell you a little about me. Because I got to a stage of being in New York, and one night I'd gone to bed and I woke up, and the question came to me, why are you in New York? And I couldn't answer the question. And, I eventually went back to sleep, and I woke up the next morning with the question, why are you in New York? And because I couldn't answer the question, I called Air Jamaica, and that was a Monday, and I made a reservation to come home on the Saturday. That was that.
You change by changing, it's basic as that. Yeah. And especially the fact that when I went to Cornell, it was the first time I actually knew that you could be warm in winter.
Yes.
Because I refused to buy a proper winter coat.
Oh, really?
Because I soon go home. I soon gone home. But then when you get to Ithaca, New York, and from October, you have snow on the ground back to next June.
Exactly.
I had to buy proper winter shoes. I had to buy a proper winter coat and so on because there was no way around it. But listen, Jamaica is the center of the universe as far as I am concerned.
I am.
And that's what I've told people, that when I'm leaving, I'm the last person to leave. I will turn off the lights. All right? So we're going to make this work.
All I can say is that I identify so much with your sentiments, There's a point where each time I'm landing at Norman Manley Airport and that plane hits the runway, there is a feeling that I get that I cannot explain to anybody. I just can't.
But you aren't alone. You realize that so many Jamaicans actually applaud.
Yes.
When the plane touches down in Jamaica, you know?
Yes.
It's a special feeling. I know
it's a special feeling. Okay, so you're back home and you went first to UWI? That's your first job?
Yes. Research fellow in child development, yes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I'm responsible for the entire Caribbean. So we did a lot of good work in terms of, one of my first publications there was an annotated bibliography of child development in the Caribbean.
Wow.
Because there was so much material just in the library.
Yes.
And the documentation of what makes a black child, a Jamaican child, special.
Mm-hmm.
And it's incredible. As far back as in the 80s, it was clear that our infant mortality figures, our maternal mortality figures, puts us way above black Americans.
Really?
A child born in Jamaica from way back then had a better chance of survival than a black child born in America, the richest country on earth. Because we were doing something right here.
Yes.
And I think we have maintained that. And that was the first eras in which I was committed. But I see myself as an activist.
Yes.
My research has to not just be academic. So what happened was UWI renewed the contract for 1 year and then for another year, but then told me that they're not sure they'll have the money to renew it any further.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked them, what will happen if you don't renew it next year? They will then give me 3 months notice to leave the premises. At that point, I resigned and I decided to go straight, because my thing is that if you have a trained mind, I'm a psychologist. My plan was to do I use psychology to solve human problems?
Yes.
So I apply what I do. I apply what I know about human behavior, I use it in marketing and advertising, in hiring, in leadership, in any area of that endeavor. And in fact, that's part of what got me into media. Because when I realized that you're in a classroom teaching, how many people can you teach in a term, in a year, but if you, I built a sound system because I realized that if you have a sound system in a dance, the amount of people you can impact is more than in a classroom.
Yes.
By the way, my sound system was called judgment, because just as how, we come to judge you men and to transform lives. And the music we played was music totally uplifting.
Yeah.
And more than that, my sound system, the same year, 1987, started Mutabaruka sound system, black music started the same year. And we were the first 2 sound systems in Jamaica that played only digital music, strictly CDs. So my next step was media. I went to RJR with an idea for a show called The Night Doctor, wanting to use music and talk to heal the nation.
I remember that show.
I introduced CD to radio because RJR had no such thing as CDs then.
Really?
I had to carry 2 CD players every night when I went to the station. And my music and talk, that's what I used. The idea was to use it to heal a nation. And we made an impact.
You did.
Significant impact, because again, I'm talking to 150,000 people at night. And I chose the time 1 to 5 in the morning. Why? Because that's the time when people can't sleep.
Yes.
People, you're thinking, and people are going to school and up studying. I keep your company through the night and uplifting. So it worked, and I'm happy that I did that.
All right.
So the combination of media and private sector and solving direct problems, because you use what you know about human behavior and you inject it into everything that you do.
All right, we're going to take another break, Mr. Night Doctor. We're coming right back.
The next person in line, your friend at school or your co-worker, may have COVID-19 and not know because they have no symptoms. You, on the other hand, could be hospitalized for 2 months or more if you become infected. Is it worth it? Stay socially connected, but keep the physical distance. Stay 6 feet away and avoid a hospital stay. COVID-19 is not over. Protect yourself while protecting others. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
For the development of our youths in Jamaica, jobs and skill training, for proper child rearing, to see a brighter Jamaica, parenting, education, CSJP, for unattached youths in vulnerable, volatile communities, committed to serve and prepare our youths of Jamaica for a better society. CSJP are the ones preserving lives, showing us the way to survive. CSJP, put a little hope in your life, showing us the way to the light. CSJP are the ones preserving lives, showing us the way to survive. CSJP, put a little hope in your life, showing us the way to the light.
The Citizen Security and Justice Program, transforming lives through social intervention.
So just say, not one of my seeds shall sit in the sidewalks and beg bread. No, they can't, and you know that they won't. So just say, not one of my seeds shall sit in the sidewalk and beg your bread. No, they can't, and you know that they won't. And
Yes. Jah has told us we will never be on the sidewalk begging bread.
You know, may I just explain why that song was chosen?
Tell us.
I have used that song at every one of the naming ceremony for my children.
Really?
Because that song, that's me speaking it. Not one that I see, just sit on the sidewalk and beg bread. And I stand before the community when I give the children's name to the community, and I commit, I take full responsibility.
Yes.
And any man who has been so privileged to father a child and to take part in that evolutionary process, that developmental process, is one of the most important things that you could ever do. And I'm happy to see that my eldest daughter is committed. She's a talented teacher.
Really? Good.
My second daughter is now a judge in New York.
Wow.
After being expelled from 2 schools in Jamaica, but that's another whole other story. You don't take shit from nobody. My third daughter is on the faculty at UWI, Dr. Isis Semaj Hall. She combines music and literature and so on. And part of her dissertation said, growing up in a house filled with books and 18-inch speakers and music, she had both are in her mind, you know.
Yes.
So my youngest son, he graduated from UWI also, but he's in marketing and advertising, and he's now trying to develop some farming ventures and so on. So the whole notion that you actively take part in your children's life, any man who did not do that, he doesn't know what he has missed. Active involvement in your children's life. So that song set the tone for me for my first naming ceremony, 40 years ago.
Yes.
Not whenever I see it, just sit on the sidewalk and bake bread. And I think if more men did that, we'd have such a much better place. That was my commitment to the universe.
Boy, when I saw it on your list of music, I said, boy, we're on the same wavelength, because that song means so much to me, but that's another story.
Yes.
That's another story. So you left UW, and what? When did you go to the College of Agriculture? Was that during that same time period? Or?
Well, after I resigned from UWI, and I started teaching in a number of different UWI faculty, part-time. I taught in psychiatry, Department of Social and Preventive Medicine, extramural.
Okay.
I taught 5 courses in psychology and extramural studies. And during the time, I saw a post for a psychologist at the College of Agriculture. I applied. And when I went for the interview and to do a lecture there, I realized at that time, Portland was really too far from Kingston. The roads were very... So I made them an offer. I said, instead of me coming on the faculty full time and getting a house and all of that there, I will come 1 day a week. And I will teach all my classes, all 4 classes in 1 day. Don't give me a housing, don't give me anything else. So I still lived in Kingston, and I spent a year there. Wow. And really set up their peer counseling program, and really it was an excellent opportunity. I was just part of, that's how I approach things, the fact that, and since then, I have literally lived by my own. My company was first registered about 1992, and then renamed in 1994. But since then, for over the last 30 odd years, I have been literally providing services to literally every sector of the Jamaican society.
Yeah.
But then academia was just the first stop.
Yes.
But then I realized that what you can do in academia is but so much. When you really not impact, when you impact with people at work, when you impact with people via the media, it's more transformative, and a lot more can be accomplished. So that has been my quest.
Yes. And so far, you have spread yourself all over, certainly all over corporate Jamaica. You're one of the persons that everybody thinks of when there seems to have some organizational issue that they want solved,
One of the things we do now is that culture change.
Yes.
Because the culture of an organization can become very toxic. And you really, and we deal with mergers, because a lot of people forget, that when the accountants and the lawyers sign off when you try to merge 2 or 3 companies, that's when the problem starts.
Exactly.
You get the cultures to work together and you get the synergy. So we do a lot of the transformation, individual transformation, organizational transformation, community transformation, change. People are not very comfortable with change.
Right.
And I like to remind people, that we take so much from the Bible, but we also leave so much behind. The miracle of Jesus.
Yes.
Basically what he says, do something.
Mm-hmm.
Zacchaeus, come down.
Yes.
Lazarus, come forth.
Yes.
The feeding of the 5,000, let the people sit in groups of 50.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you something to do.
Yes.
So that if you refuse to do anything, then change will not come. You must do something.
Mm-hmm.
So that I wish more people would follow the teachings of Jesus rather than just worshiping Jesus.
Absolutely. The application is where the thing has value.
Absolutely. Do something.
Do something. I remember you two doing some work with your company in a process of termination. When you have to downsize companies. Yes.
A lot of people, it's the worst day of their life.
Mm-hmm.
When you get called, a lot of people don't realize, for the manager is one of the most stressful things.
Tell me about it.
Managers just laugh and say, hey, say all that one, man. Say all that one. Listen, I have seen managers, when I have sessions with them preparing, every time eyes are filled with water, tears when I have them role play how to handle the process.
Mm-hmm.
But then now, the amount of thanks I've gotten from people who I see them 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years after I was part of their redundancy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Semaj, you were right, I never thought I would have recovered from it. Mm-hmm. What you told me would have happened to me and could have happened to me. One of the things I tell people that what redundancy does, it forces you into a situation of growth.
Yes.
That on your own you would not have done.
Exactly.
You would not have done because you were stuck where you were. And now people are every day I run to somebody who says, listen, let me give you a quick story. I was in a couple of years ago, I was in Barbados on each one mountain before a session I did there. And I saw this man. And this man, Dr. Semaj, how is it? I said, but I know your face. Where do I know you from? The man said, are you redundant me from all parts, sir? But I'm not redundant you. I was just part of the process. But Dr. Semaj, I said, so where are you working now? The man working in Madagascar.
In where? Madagascar?
The man said when he after a few weeks at home, he contacted one of the expatriates who used to be on the staff there, and he said, look, they have some mines in Madagascar who similar to nickel mine and similar to aluminum mine. And why don't you apply? And he applied and he went for the interview and he got the job.
Oh, wow.
The way they work there now, it's way out in the bushes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You work 12 days a week straight and then you're home for 12 days.
Wow.
My man still lives in Clarendon. This is way before COVID. Huh? He lives in Clarendon. He had his family down in Barbados for a week's vacation.
Uh-huh.
Because he was home for 12 days. Something he could never do when he was in Jamaica. And at the time he says 8 other Jamaicans now working down there. Because say so we rule.
I'm telling you.
Once we get in and we make sure other people can get it. So now if he wasn't made redundant down at Alpha, it takes him 2 days to get to work. He flies to London, then flies to Kenya, and then flies across to Madagascar. So that's the kind of opportunities that people, if you keep on holding to what you have, you'll never get what you deserve.
Please say that again. Please, just repeat that, please.
You keep holding on to the little you have, you'll never get placed to what you earn. And guess what? When God takes something out of your hand, it's to get yourself to open your hand for something bigger.
Thank you, please.
When God takes something from you or take a person from you out of your life, it's because he heard something you didn't hear. He saw something you didn't see. So he did something that you wouldn't do. Take them out of your life.
Thank you.
So you can move on to a better place. So it is my responsibility. That is my job. You see, I tell people, I heal the mentally sick. I raise the spiritually dead. I teach those who never learned, and I set the cultural captives free.
All right. Very good note on us to have a break, and we're coming right back. Coming right back.
Rise and shine. Rise and shine. Oh. Clear your mind. Rise and shine.
If you want to do a test, come to Jassel, we're the best. If you want to do a test, come to Jassel, we're the best. HIV and syphilis test.
To get tested today, contact Jamaica AIDS Support for Life at 876-925-0021. A message from the Jamaica AIDS Support for Life with the kind support of USAID from the American people.
Basca House Production presents the Jimmy Fagan Record Show. Join DJ String on Roots 96.1 FM, Sundays 4:35 p.m. and Tuesdays 7:05 p.m. That's the Jimmy Fagan Record Show right here on Roots 96.1 FM, Sundays and Tuesdays. You don't want to miss it.
So what, Dr. Semaj? So what?
As Davis asked the question, so what?
Yes.
Always, so what? Get it done. So what? Get out of my way.
Yes.
Have work to do. We have work to do, my dear.
And you know, that question comes up so often these days with the COVID experience. People being put on half-time or being laid off completely or being separated from loved ones for whatever reason. So what?
Absolutely. Listen, what I try to do, part of my job, is I study the future and I help people to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, now we're in a very strange situation where the main feature now, I think we generally understand what COVID can and does, but we are now, a lot of Jamaicans are experiencing pandemic fatigue.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just what's happening, you can't go nowhere. There's no outlet. You can't. So you have to learn a new way of being. One thing, don't wait to go back to how things used to be. There's no going back.
Thank you. Please say that again.
No going back to what things used to be.
Thank you.
So it was at least a year of this. So guess what? It is suggested that you learn to dance in the rain as opposed to waiting for the storm to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been trying to show people examples. So one of the things that I have done, you're just saying that many of us know our good clothes long to see it. Our good clothes are asked if we're dead because long time to see it. So every Friday at my house, I have a fine dining dinner.
Whoa!
Listen, you put on your good clothes.
Yes.
Cut them in there. You take out the good plate them.
Yes, I want the China. Lock up.
Cut them in there. And you dine.
Yes.
Because you can't go out, so that's the ultimate staycation. And I'm encouraging people to do that. Learn to live your own life right where you are.
Yeah.
Right where, you don't have to go nowhere. Just the ultimate staycation. So it's called Friday Fine Dining.
Lovely.
Friday Fine Dining. And I every time I look forward to and say, last Friday I wore a tuxedo.
Okay.
Can you imagine you put on a tuxedo and the full you're not gonna wear. The Friday before, when my housekeeper saw me dressed up, Doc, where you going? Oh, I'm going to dinner. But where, Doc? But I cook already. I said, that's right. I'm dining right here. And you should tell me, Doc. So, no, we don't need to tell you. We live here, all right? So I said, no, what are you going to wear next week, Friday? Are you going to go in your closet and you're going to find something you don't wear this long time?
That's right.
And you just organize up your life and really just get in the habit. One problem we have in Jamaica now is a Zoom divide. A Zoom divide. There's some people who have not made it past the Zoom divide. We're talking about the digital divide, but just be able to conduct your life via Zoom and other options. Some people are resistant to it. Some people don't know how to do it. Some people can't do it. The longer you resist, we are now in the 5th industrial revolution. Anybody who can work anywhere from anywhere will never be able to work.
I'm telling you.
So I'm sitting in my office now, and we're having this conversation. Now, I bet you pre-COVID, if we say we're going to do the interview just from home, and people, no, man, we want you in the studio, man, and so on.
Exactly.
And we're having a conversation face to face. We're streaming the conversation. We have the video links, we're including the music.
That's right.
We've expanded the options completely. So we're not going back.
That's right.
So we have to learn to live with this and learn to make it work for you. My entire office, the first thing we did once they started the lockdown in Jamaica and television, I closed my office.
Yes.
And all staff members work from home.
Excellent.
All staff members work from, and all the services that we offered before, we can offer them now anywhere in the world. There are days when I'm having a workshop with people from London, people from the rest of the Caribbean, in the US. I had a workshop last week with 4 different people from different states in the United States.
Yes.
And we were all on one platform having a conversation. So the world is now expanded. So if we don't take opportunities to, I'm telling people who are now at home, learn some new skills.
Definitely.
You learn some, because anything you wish to learn, you can find some stuff on YouTube to teach you how to do it.
So true. So true. So we're on our closing minutes, but what would you like to leave with us? What is your charge to us?
I do believe, listen, all of us are here for a mission. It's one of you. One of you. So it must be a reason why God put you here.
That's right.
You have a job to do. And if you do what you're sent here to do, so no, look, we talk about your mission, we talk about your vision, but guess what? You also need to develop your skills, which will expand your talent.
Yes.
Now, again, back to the Bible. You remember a situation where the person who got the talents and never used them?
Yes. Yes.
And understand, even with the sower and the seeds, that some will drop them on thorns and some drop on rocky places and so on. That's some things, you know. So that make sure that when you sow your seeds, you do so on fertile ground. Make sure that your talent is God's gift to you.
Thank you.
What you do with it is your gift to God.
Yes.
So you build on the talent, you learn some skills. And one of the things we're going to have to do after this is job creation skill. That's the most important thing. Other people, I'm seeing all these university graduates, oh Lord, all I have is call center job and so on. And think that, you are the best and the brightest. Part of your responsibility is to create a job.
Exactly.
What skills and services do you have? You don't have any? Back to school. Whether it's hard you're going to go, whether it's you're going to go, whether it is a free course you're going to do online, it's on you to equip yourself. And then you now figure out what services, what products do my community need. And I will provide it. In return, I get paid. So we really need to unlock the potential of our people.
Yes.
And encourage them, not for dependency, not to beg nobody nothing. Literally to use your mind, use your brain to equip yourself to do the best job you can.
Such a good note to end on. Thank you so very, very much. Let us go forth with Yolanda Adams reminding us, still I rise. No matter what we're going through, we're rising. Dr. Semaj, thanks for being with us. It's been wonderful. We shall speak.
But time will heal. Heavy the load, the cross I bear. Lonely the road I trod, I dare. Shaken, but here